So before we start officially, let me say that it's 5 p.m. Eastern time on Monday, May 5th, 2025. And this meeting is a pre-race meeting for the Bloodroot Ultras that are happening this weekend here in Pittsfield, Vermont. My name is Louis Escobar, I'm the race director. There's some of our staff members on this call and several of the participants. The meeting will officially start in a couple minutes. I want to give people an opportunity to hop on. And in the meantime, I'm here to answer any questions, any immediate questions. So somebody had a question for me?
Yeah, yeah. This is Mike Kelly. It's my first time doing the blood root race. I've done other ultras, so I've never done blood root. And I just had a question about. I know the 50 mile is doing two loops on the 50K loop and then two loops on the 10-mile loop. Are those two trails completely different in completely different areas, or are they in the same along the same trail path with just different signs directing which loop?
Got it. Great question. That's a very important question. I'll answer it, and then I'll answer it again later on in the main body of the meeting. Before I even answer that, someone's asking, will this recording be available later? Yes, I will. We are recording this, and it will be emailed. A link to this will be emailed to all of you, all of the participants immediately after the meeting is over. Mike, your question.
Can you see
You got it kind of right and kind of wrong. So the 50-mile race, are you registered in the 50-mile, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're going to do one 50-kilometer loop, which is just over 31 miles. Then you're going to do two 10-mile loops. So that equals about 50. And let me stress one thing, about 50. This is not the Olympics. The distances are not accurate. I'm telling you now, it's long. So you're going to run more than 50 miles. So one 50K loop, and that is on the Bloodroot Trail System, which is across the street from where I'm sitting right now. So it's an independent 31-mile loop.
Okay.
It starts and finishes where I'm sitting here at Riverside Farm. All the events start and finish here. The 50-mile starts here, goes out, does a big 30-mile loop, comes back here, then does a 10-mile loop, comes back here, and then does another 10-mile loop and comes back here.
Okay.
You can see a map. I believe in the runner guide that was just emailed to you, there's a link to the maps. And if it's not, you let me know. But you should be able to see there a 50K loop and a 10-mile loop. So you can do the 50K once and the 10-mile twice.
Yep. Great. That makes sense. I will take a look at the maps. I did see that the links were there. I just haven't opened them. And I'm assuming you're probably going to answer the questions about aid stations on the 50K loop as well. So I'll stop talking and just let you get to what you're going to present.
All right, buddy. Okay, so I'm looking in the chat and there's a question. Hey, Louis, can I change my 50-mile registration to the 50K? Yeah, you can do that. Do that at runner check-in. If you can come here Friday afternoon when we have runner check-in, you can talk to Danny. He's the one that's going to be checking you in. He's responsible for timing and bib assignment, so he can easily drop you down or move you up. You can all change your distance prior to the start of the race. Once the race starts, there's no changing. Okay? So the answer to that question is yes, you can change it. Is there a fee to change? No, I don't think so.
Louis, I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
I didn't get the registration email. I have my barcode and all. I registered, but I didn't get the link to the Zoom. I just got it from my girlfriend who sent it to me.
Okay. All right. If you could send me an email, and then I'll send you this runner guide directly. So I'm going to put my email address in the chat right now. Do you know how to see that?
I'm on my phone, so I don't see the chat pop up. But if you could just tell it to me, I'll write it down.
Okay. I'm putting it in the chat anyway for anybody that's interested. And it's my name, Luis Escobar. Luis, Luis dot Escobar, Escobar at Spartan.com. Luis.escobar at Spartan.com. It's in the chat.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure. And even so, Ted, if you're registered, you know that you're registered. And even if you haven't received this email, I will respond and send it to you. But even if that doesn't work, come anyway, because you're in the system and you're in.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
looking forward to it again.
Okay. There's still people popping in here. Chris Clemens, are you still here or did we lose you?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. For the 10 mile, it says that registration starts at 7 a.m. What time does it end? Let me get to that one in a second. Somebody says my GPS was 32.1 miles for the 50K loop last year. Yeah, it's long, about a mile long. And just so you know, the trail changes or the route changes year to year. Fallen trees, swollen rivers. There's all different factors that could make us reroute a piece here, reroute a piece there. So it's never exactly the same year to year. And it's never exactly 50 kilometers. Could be more, could be less. In this case, it's going to be more. Is there mandatory gear for the 50 mile or just a headlamp? There is no mandatory gear at this moment. I think if the weather gets crazy, we might email you with some strong suggestions. But we assume that you know what you're doing. You're an advanced trail runner, and we assume that you know what to bring with you. A headlamp is mandatory. It gets dark, especially when the weather's like this. It gets dark pretty early, and it gets very dark in the forest behind me on the Green Mountain trail system that's behind me. It's very, very dense and covered, so it gets dark very quick and very dark. What is the elevation gain of the 50K? Chris Clemens, can you dig that up? Actually, I think it's in the runner guide, isn't it? Let me answer that one. Let me find it. I have it in front of me. Give me just a moment. And again, guys, this is all, close. It's not exact. The 50K loop is about 7,000 feet of vertical gain. That's a lot. Okay. This is a varsity race, guys. Okay. Let me get to my notes and we'll get this thing going. Still people popping in, so that's why I'm kind of dragging my feet here. All right, I see some of those questions in the chat. I think I'm going to answer them now as we go through this. So if I don't answer your question, let me know. All right, here we go, guys. This is the pre-race meeting for the Bloodroot Ultra 2025. It's happening right here in Pittsfield, Vermont, May 7th through the 10th, 2025. All right. So we had a 200-mile race that was scheduled to begin at 7 a.m. on the 7th. However, we have no participants, so we will not be having a 200-mile run this year. We will be having a 100-mile run for sure, and that is scheduled to happen at approximately 7 a.m. on Friday, May 9th. It's going to start and finish here at the Riverside Farms in Pittsfield, Vermont. The address and directions are in the runner guide that you received earlier today. We also have a 50-mile race, a 50K, and a 10-mile race. The 50-mile, the 50K, and the 10-mile, they all start at approximately 7 a.m. on Saturday, May 10th. All of the events start and finish at Riverside Farm. We have packet pickup on Friday, the 9th, for the 50 mile, the 50K, and the 10 mile. Our registration will be open for you at 4 p.m. on Friday, the 9th, and will close at about 7 p.m. Okay, that might answer the question that was in the chat. So if you're in the 50 mile, the 50K, or the 10 mile, help me by coming and picking up your packet on Friday afternoon between 4 and 7 p.m. This will help us prevent long lines on Saturday morning. It's not mandatory that you come on Friday afternoon, but it will be helpful. It'll be better for you as well. Okay? Packet will also be available for the 100-mile runners on Friday morning. So the 100-mile race starts Friday morning at 7 a.m. So we'll have packet pickup ready to go at about 6. I think in the guide it says 6:15, but it'll be closer to 6 a.m. So if you're in the 100, you should be here on property, dressed up, looking like a distance runner around 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday. And we'll get you checked in. We'll start the race at approximately 7 a.m. on Friday morning. That's the 100. Let me look at my notes. I'll tell you how many folks we have in that race. I believe we have 19 people registered in the 100. I've been doing this event for, I think this is my 4th or 5th year. I believe that we've had less than 10 finishers in the 100 in those last 4 years. Last year, we had 6 finishers. It was a good year for the 100. Are any of you here in the 100-mile distance?
I am. I actually had a question, but I'm not sure if you'll get to it about the loops.
Go ahead. What's the question?
My question is, and I assume your answer will be it varies, because last year the loops were closer to 11 miles. So should we just plan for 11-mile loops?
Kelly, we haven't measured the course this year. We marked it, and tomorrow we're going to go out and take another look at it, and we'll get an accurate measurement. And if it's 11 miles, Kelly, I'll find a way to reduce it, because that's a lot.
Okay,
so the answer is, I don't know yet.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to plan because, like I said, we clocked it like it was like 10.9 pretty consistently. So I just kind of wanted to like mentally prepare if it was going to be that long. So thank you very much.
Well, you are more familiar with this property than most of us, and you know what it's like up there. There's a lot of, it's complicated up there. So we'll do our best to get it close to 10.
Thank you.
Somebody says they got 104 miles last year. When does registration end on Saturday? Well, it ends when it ends. So the race begins at 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. So we'll have race registration open at 5:30 a.m. on Saturday morning, and it'll close when we're finished checking everybody in. But we want to be done prior to 7 a.m. So does that answer? I think so. Yeah, so somebody's in the chat saying that they got 104 miles last year. Kelly, I don't know what you got overall, but this 104 sounds like what I remember from last year. I have it in my notes somewhere, but I don't think it was 110 miles or 112 miles. I think it was pretty much close to 104, 105 maybe.
Maybe we just went off trail a little bit. We had 7 loops. We had 7 loops and we were at 76 miles. So that's the only reason why I asked. Thank you.
Another thing too, our watches get a little screwy up there. There's not a direct line of sight all of the time. And I've seen people with the Suunto, Garmin, Coros, and they're all getting different mileages, and some of them by big margins. I think it might have something to do with the lack of direct vision to the sky. I don't know. Okay, let me get back. Do we need to reserve a camp in advance or just drop butt in the forest? Okay, let's talk about camping. I'm getting out of order, but this is a good time to answer that. So there's absolutely no camping here at Riverside Farm. If you're in the 100 mile, we have a designated parking area where, yes, your crew can live in out of your van or your camper here on the property. But if you're in the other distances, there's no camping here on this property. Don't do it. It'll get me in big trouble. I don't own this property, okay? I'm just here directing this event, and this property has a lot of rules, and that's one of the rules. The other rule is no dogs, absolutely no dogs, no dogs, not on a leash, not off a leash, no dogs, and no camping. Also, it's important that you don't camp, and no cats, Lee, and no camping on the road out here next to the farm. But there is dispersed camping, which is free dispersed camping on Upper Michigan Road. So put that into your notes, Upper Michigan Road. If you come into Pittsfield and you go to the general store, the road next to the general store is Upper Michigan. You can drive up Upper Michigan Road about 2 miles, 3 miles, and there's little turnouts. It's not a campground. They're just turnouts, and it is safe and legal to just camp there. Okay. A lot of questions about packet pickup. For the packet pickup, if you look on the runner guide, it says there, packet pickup is on Friday, May 9th from 4 to 7 o'clock. So if you're in the 10 mile, the 50K, the 50 mile, please come on Friday between 4 and 7 p.m. and pick up your bib. It's not mandatory, but it makes it better for us. If you're unable to come on Friday, packet pickup will be open at 5:30 a.m. on Saturday. Okay. Am I available to pick up somebody else's packet? No way, Jose. That messes things up. I know it seems simpler. You have it. You just hand it to your buddy, but we do this every weekend. And anytime we allow that to happen, the bib doesn't make it to the person, and then it gets all messed up. Then they come, we have to give them a different number. Then that number doesn't match them, and it just is complicated. So the answer is no. You can pick up your bibs, and that's it. It's very important. Can we purchase a spectator pass? There is no spectator pass. This is not like an OCR event. There's no festival, so there's no spectator pass. Your friends and family are welcome to come, bring a 10 by 10, camp out on the lawn. There's a big, beautiful lawn behind me, plenty of space for people to come, and you can picnic there, and they can just hang out for the duration. I'd bring a 10 by 10 and bring some stakes to stake it into the ground, and that should be just fine. There is no spectator fee. There's also no amenities. There's no festival. So there's no food vendors, nothing like that. There's just a big, beautiful lawn. The general store is less than 2 miles away from here. There's also a gas station in town. Both of those places have good food. Okay. That answers that question. How does the optional mid-race bag for the 50K work if it's one loop and we're not coming back? So yeah, we don't have, we can take a drop bag out to mile 18, but let me tell you something, Gary, it's not necessary. You do not need a drop bag. It's not necessary. But if you want a drop bag, bring it, make sure that it's clearly labeled with your name and your bib number, and leave it at the start finish, and we'll transport it out to mile 18. And we cannot guarantee, Gary, I'm telling you right now, we cannot guarantee that we're going to deliver that drop bag back to you before you leave. So it's important, not just this race, but any race that you go to, if you have a drop bag, make sure that whatever is in that drop bag is something that's okay, that you can live without, because it's very difficult, sometimes impossible, to return those bags on time. So, okay, Gary, I didn't mean to sound so rough. He's like, no, I am just curious. I just want to know how it works. You're welcome to bring a drop bag, Gary, and we'll take it out to 18, but it's not necessary. Up to you. Happy to do it. Just the trick is getting it back. More packet pickup questions. Am I not explaining that correctly? Help me. Are you guys understanding about the packet pickup? Okay. 4 to 7 on Friday. Well, let me say it this way. 6:15 in the morning on Friday, it opens for the 100 milers. Then it reopens again at 4 p.m. on Friday and closes at about 7 on Friday. Then Saturday morning, 5:30 a.m. And it'll stay open until everybody's checked in. Can I put a ribeye steak? Yeah, sure. You can put a ribeye steak in your drop bag. I guarantee that will not be there when you get done because I'll eat it. But yeah, sure. First timer here. What's the bathroom sitch out on the trail? It's a trail race. So this is what we do. There are portable toilets at the start, finish, base camp area. In the forest, we dig and bury. Don't leave anything on the trail. So we are expecting you to leave no trace. So dig and bury, carry a bag, carry toilet paper out with you, just leave no trace. Oh, wow, you guys got a lot of good questions. Drop bags are not necessary. What is it? In what sense? In the sense that I personally don't think that this distance requires a drop bag, that you should be able to carry everything with you that you need for the duration of this thing. I'm not trying to talk you out of drop bags. If you want to have a drop bag, bring it, please. Make sure it's clearly labeled with your name and your bib number, and leave it at the start finish area. We'll have a designated space where you can put it, and then I'll transport it out to mile 18. But again, I can't guarantee that it's going to be here when you get back, when it's time for you to leave. It'll come back at the convenience of the aid station staff. So when they break that down, they'll come back in. It's more than an hour drive one way to this mile 18. Okay, Radio Mike, you're answering this question. Mike, can you hop on and answer it in voice?
Yes, hey there. So so the Green Mountain National Forest parking lot, I sent the address. It's 2355 Upper Michigan Road. So it's basically at the dead end before it goes into the Green Mountain National Forest. So you drive up the public road, and then the National Forest parking lot is on the left, and that's the street address. And then in that parking lot, it's a dirt parking lot. It is off a dirt road. There is parking there, and then there's also camping sites inside the forest, which is actually a forest road. I don't know how muddy it's going to be. I haven't been up there yet, so it might be okay to drive on, but I recommend at least probably just sticking with the dirt parking lot, not getting stuck in the forest. But if the road to go into the forest is fine, if you go down half a mile or so, there's some camping spots left or right side. So that's the option for the Green Mountain National Forest camping if you need it.
Mike, as long as you're here, hello, good to see you. Look forward to working with you this weekend. Can you introduce yourself and what is your function here?
Yeah, so my nickname is Radio Mike. Mike Burrill is my real name, and so I'm from Massachusetts. I do I own the medical company, and we also do the two-way radio component for all the Spartan events in Pittsfield, Vermont. Anything that's on Riverside Farm or in Vermont. So we do all the two-way radio network for all the safety for the staff. We also do all the medical. We'll have medical staff in Chittenden and Pittsfield and Riverside Farm. So I do all the basic those type of logistics for the Spartan venues.
Mike and I have been working together for several years now at different events, different parts of the country, and you're in great hands with Mike and his team. So if you have any medical issues, ultimately you will run into Mike. Okay, let me get back to some of these questions. You guys have a lot of good questions. Do we pay the parking fee at both packet pickup and on race day? And what's the parking pass? Yesterday's email reference. Okay. The farm charges $20 per car to come onto the property. It's a parking fee. You just pay that one time. And we're not going to have anybody collecting that on Friday. So if you come in here to do your packet pickup on Friday, you just park, come and pick up your packet and go. Saturday morning, they're going to direct you to the parking lot in the back. There's a large designated space in the back. And at that time, a representative from Riverside Farm will be there and expect that you hand them a $20 bill. No Venmo, no check, no PayPal, a $20 bill, one $20 bill, instead of trying to make change, blah, 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 just come with a $20 bill and hand it to them. That is not, I'm not trying to make apologies, but that's not from me. It's not from the race. It's the venue. That's to pay for their parking lot. So that's it. Okay. Does that answer that question? Oh, right. You guys got good questions.
Lewis,
Yeah.
we also had a question about leashed dogs in the spectator parking area, but I think it's no dogs at all.
Yeah.
Correct?
So I'll answer that question. And while I'm answering that question, Chris, can you compose an answer to the question about nutrition at the aid station? So what do we have from Bear and okay. So the dogs, no dogs, no dogs, no perros, no dogs. That will get in trouble. So please don't bring your dogs. They're not allowed on the lawn. This is a high, what's the right word? It's a very beautiful high-end wedding venue, luxury wedding venue, and the lawn is absolutely manicured and they will not allow dogs. So please don't bring your dog. They will ask you to leave. I'm a dog person. I love dogs. I sleep with a dog, but not here. Okay. Is it worthwhile to still carry a first aid kit or not necessary with Radio Mike's team? That's a very good question. I always have a very small first aid kit in my pack at all times, even if I just go for a 6-mile run from my house. So if you're going to go out into the forest for 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, 10 hours, yeah, it's probably not a bad idea to have a first aid kit with you at all times. Mike is available for cuts and abrasions and small things, but mostly his focus is on major issues. And the biggest issues that we have here, typically, to be honest, it has to do with hydration. And Mike, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can go over this at race day morning also as well. But yeah, so we'll have medical staff on Riverside Farm, and then for those doing the 50 kilometer across the street, we will have so when we do what's called the Hayesbrook Loop, there'll be a medical person there, and then you go up and over Bloodroot Mountain, and then you come down to River Road, and then you come out to what's called Gravel Pit in Chittenden. That's the next town over from Pittsfield, Vermont, is Chittenden, Vermont. We'll have a medical person in that gravel pit with the Spartan staff person. And then the next time they would see medical would be when they come back over, I forget exactly what mountain it is, and then back into Pittsfield on Lower Michigan Road. There'll be a medical staff person there. And then the next time, then they would be crossing the street going back to Riverside Farm. So yeah, so there are aid stations, but so what I suggest is if you do drink a lot of water, you have to, whenever you get to a aid station to refill, the last thing we want is somebody saying, oh, I still have half a container. When you're at Hayesbrook Trail, now you're going to go up and over Bloodroot Mountain, then you come down to the other side, then you have to still get to Gravel Pit in Chittenden, and then you've already drank all the water, and now you've gone several miles without any water. So whenever you're comfortable and you have a moment, go to an aid station, get water, hydration, Gatorade, whatever you need, Powerade or whatever, etc. Otherwise, right, you just have to wait till you get to the next aid station to get something. So please don't run out and just make sure you have enough. I haven't checked the weather yet, so I don't have an answer on that, but hopefully it's not extremely hot or humid or anything like that. So thank you.
Mike, I'll get to these aid station questions in just a moment, but I do want to answer this question. Jeff, ask me the question, Jeff. Ask me. Let me hear it. Let's talk about Bear. All
All right, let's talk about Bear.
let's talk
Uh,
about it.
I heard there was a water issue from a couple of people I know. I'm sure it'll be much better.
So what Jeff is talking about is 2 days ago, we hosted a race at Bear Mountain, New York, and there was some issue with water in the middle of the race course. One of the aid stations went without any water whatsoever for about 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah, Jeff, that was not good. And I think that on this call, there are several people that have finished this race in the past, and you can ask each and every one of them if there's been issues with water here in the last couple of years, and they're all going to tell you the same thing. No issues. No issues, man. Trust me, you're going to be just fine. However, with that, an advanced trail runner is going to have a filter with them at all times. Even if there's aid station every 5 miles, you should be prepared for anything. I don't know what's going to go on. Maybe you get lost, you go off course, you can't find anything. There's a lot of water on this race course. I wouldn't drink it, but I would filter it and drink it. So get a Katadyn filter and stick it in your pack. It costs very little and it doesn't take up a lot of space, and you have it if you need it. So the answer, Jeff, is yep, there were issues at Bear. We've taken notes about it. We take it very seriously. It's going to be corrected. This race, I'm in charge and I'm fully responsible. And I guarantee you that we've had no problems in the past, and there will be no problems this weekend.
Thank you. I had no problems last year. I don't expect any problems. Other folks were getting concerned. And you talked me into bringing my water filter. That's an extra 1.5 ounces. It's going to kill me.
Let me say this too. Give me 15 seconds to say, I've been reading some of the things on the Facebook pages about Bear Mountain. And yeah, I'm admitting that there were issues with the water, but it wasn't as bad as some of it's exaggerated on those pages. And I think some of it's speculation from people that weren't actually there. I'm not making excuses, man. But I'm just telling you, yeah, there were problems. We're on it. It won't happen. As far as I know, it won't happen again. I'm not the race director at that event. I am a consultant there. I can tell you very definitively that they're taking it very seriously.
Last year, there was a ton of mountain runoff on a lot of the course. So there's lots of water.
Yeah. And that takes me to this question. Somebody's asking, they assume it's going to be wet. Are there river crossings? There's no river crossings, but there's plenty of little creeks and streams. You're going to be wet, and you're going to see ticks, and you're going to get scratched up by a lot of brush. These trails are overgrown in some sections. This is not manicured hiking trails. This is an advanced trail run. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be rugged. That's what these peak races are about. We very specifically create these courses to be challenging. We very specifically make this 100-mile race almost impossible to finish. It's on purpose. And so, yeah, it's going to be wet. And you're going to be crossing water. Not a river. You're not going to be waist deep in anything, but you're definitely going to be splashing in water. Is there a buckle for the 100-mile finishers? Yes, there is. We just received them today, and they are very cool. There was no answer on the parking pass required on page 3. The only time you're going to be asked for money is on Saturday, and it's $20. So whatever else is written anywhere else, I'm not seeing page 3. I don't know, but I'm telling you, it's just $20 on Saturday morning. Bring a $20 bill. Okay. There's no pass. There's no coupon or a pass for your dashboard. It's nothing like that at all. Maybe it's written like that in this guide, but that's not what's happening. Okay. Somebody said about a sponsor. Where is that comment? I think it had to do, okay. When I was talking about the restroom protocol in the forest, somebody said, Dude Wipes a sponsor. And we don't have Dude Wipes as a sponsor. I wasn't sure if okay, Dude Wipes is a product, right? I thought maybe you were making fun of my accent. Dude Wipes, no. Okay. Do we need to bring a printed copy of the waiver to pick up the bib? They want you to bring a printed copy of the waiver. Yes, I know that you signed a digital copy, but they're also asking for a paper copy. So there's a link to that in the runner guide. I'm not sure. No, we will have some printed copies here available for you, but it'd be much faster and more efficient if you arrive with a hard copy, printed and signed. Okay. Did the 50K last year, no issues with water. I did get confused last year with the last mile with runner left or right. I can't remember. Okay, let's talk about that. We're bouncing all over the place. Are you guys following all this? Is this making sense, this meeting? Or am I just all over the place? Let's talk about the trail markers. The trails will be marked with pink surveyor ribbon. Okay? It will be marked predominantly on your left-hand side, runner left. So when you depart here, you'll be looking for markers on your left-hand side, predominantly, but not exclusively. Pink surveyor ribbon. We use blue ribbon as a negative. Blue is bad. So pink is positive, blue is bad. Run to the pink ribbons. They'll be on your left. If you see a blue marker, stop, turn around, look behind you. You'll see pink and then run to that, put it on your left and proceed. This question about getting confused about the markers are on the left or the right. There's about a 1 mile section of trail where you go out, you do a big loop, you come back down that same road, which means that the markers are on your left on the way out. And on the way back, guess what side they're on? They're on your right. We don't move the markers. So everything is predominantly runner left. However, on that stick of a lollipop, that mile on Lower Michigan Road, the markers will be on your left on the way out. But when you come back, those same markers are still there, but now they're on your right-hand side. Okay, hopefully that answers that. The aid stations. Let me get to that. Give you some answers here. All righty. On the 10-mile loop, there's one aid station on the top of the mountain. It's about 5 miles into it. And then you come back down. So there's aid at the start finish. And then there's aid at about mile 5. And then there's aid again at the finish. That's it. On the 50K loop, so the 50 mile will be doing the 50K loop and the 50K will be doing the 50K loop. There's an aid station at mile 4.5, mile 7, mile 10, mile 13, 18, 28, and then here at the finish, mile 30, 31. Okay, so aid at 4, 7, 10, 13, 18, 28, and the finish. We've promised you minimal aid, and that's what we're going to provide. There'll be water. There will be an assortment of snacks, candy, M&Ms, cookies, that type of thing. There'll be fruit in the way of bananas, possibly oranges. There may be some sports nutrition. Don't count on that. Don't count on gels. Count on fruit, water, and snacks. Okay? All of that should be in the runner guide. Any questions about that? Any suggestions? Okay. More questions in the chat. Let me get to that. First time using a drop bag, do we pick up the bag at the aid station and carry it with us for the remainder of the course? Or can we take from it what we need at every lap and collect the rest at the 10 mile? Okay, well, that depends on what distance you're in, Dan. If you're in the 10 mile, in the 100-mile race, you're going to be doing a 10-mile loop. Okay, he says he's in the 100. So there is no drop bag for you, Dan, because you're going to come to the base camp every 10 miles. So you can set up your own personal little camp at the start finish area. And there you can have a chair, you can have a shelter, you can bring it easy up, a 10 by 10. You can bring everything that you need to aid yourself every 10 miles. In addition to that, we will have an aid station that'll be there open and staffed for 24 hours a day. What distances of the aid stations again? All right. All of this is in the runner guide, but here we go. The aid stations on the 50K loop, mile 4.5, 7, 10, 13, 18, 28, and the finish 31. So if you were listening to that, there's a big gap between my aid station 5 and 6. It's about 9 miles, 9 to 10 miles. Okay. Bring all of your desired food and hydration for the 100 people. Oh, someone's suggesting that you bring everything that you need. All right. Let me go back to my notes. In the runner guide that you received, there's links to the courses. So I'm getting the same question here. What is the elevation? Just click on the link. All the information is there. Go to the runner guide. There's links that say course, view course map. Just click on it and all of the information that you need is there. All right. When the race begins, you'll cross a timing mat and we will be able to see what time you left the base camp. But we don't have an electronic way of tracking you when you're on the course. So we track you manually, which means when you come into an aid station, a volunteer is going to write down your bib number. That means your bib number needs to be visible. It needs to be on the front of your body, visible at all times. Don't put it on your back. Don't put it under your vest. Put it on your hat, put it on your pants, put it somewhere where we can see you when you're coming at us. We don't know all of your names, but we do know your bib numbers. So as you're coming at us, we're going to write down your bib number. If you run past an aid station and they don't record your bib number, we don't have record of you going there. And then your mom or your dad is going to call us and say, hey, where's Jeff? And we're going to say, we are not sure. So it's important that you check in to the aid stations every time. Just make sure you see somebody write your bib number down. And then when you come back to the base camp, to the finish line, you cross over that timing mat and that records you electronically. So we record you electronically on the way out and the way in, and we record you manually out on the race course. And we have radio, so we're in communication with each other. So we can get pretty accurate information, and we pretty much know where everybody's at all of the time. But we need you to help us by checking in at those aid stations. Got some more questions. Can we use shocks or headphones or absolutely no earbuds? Here's my personal thought. And my official answer is our insurance specifically says no headphones. I can't enforce that, but you're not supposed to wear headphones for many reasons. It's the safety issue. A lot of times people with headphones, they can't hear and they run right past and they get lost and they really are a hazard. Personally, I think it's better to just hear the sounds of the people around you and the forest. However, I know you want to listen to your book or your podcast or your music. Those shocks, they work really, really well. So the official answer is no headphones. If you're going to wear headphones, I would suggest the shocks because you can hear ambient sound and you can also hear your recorded music or books or whatever it is. Okay, that's the answer. Was the runner guide sent via email? Yes, it was. If you didn't receive it, I'm going to put my email in the chat. Email me and I'll send it to you. All right. It's your responsibility to check in at the conclusion of your race. So you're going to come into the finish area, you're going to cross over the timing map, but still we need you to come to the timing table and check out with us. If you do not finish for whatever reason, you're not going to be able to complete. Please do not just go home. Come back to the base camp, go to the timing tent. You're going to talk to Danny at the timing tent and say, hey, I'm not going to finish. And we need to record that. If you just leave, then Saturday night, we assume that you're out on the trail somewhere lost. And then we have to go find you, or that we have to call search and rescue. And it turns out to be a big deal. And then it turns out you're at your hotel room somewhere. So please do not leave this venue until you check in at timing, especially if you don't finish. If you don't finish out on the race course, you make it to one of the aid stations. Again, we all have radios, and you're just going to camp out there until we can get a vehicle to come and get you. If you drop out, we call it DNF. If you DNF on the race course, did not finish, we can't immediately bring you in. It might be an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. So you really don't want to DNF out there. But if you do, we'll get you back, but it might not be immediately. If there's a medical emergency, we will respond as close to immediately as possible. All right. Again, headlamps are required, especially for people that are running at night, which is the 100 miles and the 50 mile. After the race is over, before the race begins, you'll each be issued a timing chip. You're going to wear that on your wrist, not on your shoe, on your wrist. When the race is over, you're going to turn that chip in. Whether you finish or not, we need you to turn the chip in. Again, dogs are not permitted on the race course. They're not permitted here at all. These rules, respect all, of course. No littering, of course. Course integrity. Cutting the course is prohibited, obviously. If you want to cheat, you can. It's up to you, but we prefer that you don't. It's your race. Course sweeping, what that means is that we will have a race official following the last runners. And that race official is behind the pack and just making sure that everybody is in front of them. That way we can monitor who's on the course. Do not leave the race course. If you get to go to the bathroom or something, don't walk. If you're in the back of the pack especially, don't walk 50 yards into the forest. If the sweep gets in front of you, and they start removing the markers in front of you, now you're in the bloodroot forest with no markers, and you're might get lost. Stay on the trail. On those links to the maps, you can download the GPX files from those links, and you can load that into your smartphone or into your watch, and then you can see the course on your phone or on your watch. If you don't know how to do that, I can teach you to do that on Saturday morning. Or if you want to hang out after this call, I can teach you. Race director authority. The race director has final discretion. Okay. Mandatory medical checks. All that means is that Mike and his team are going to be monitoring everyone. If for whatever reason they think that it's not safe for you to continue, they will remove you from the race course. And there's really no arguing with that. They're here for not just your safety, but our safety as well. Course closure, the course will close at 9 p.m. The race ends at 9 p.m. If you're not finished by 9 p.m., you need to be finished by 9 p.m. Nobody starts a lap on the 10-mile loop after 6 p.m. on Saturday. So if you're in the 100 miles, you must start your final lap prior to 6 p.m. Not at 6 p.m., but prior to 6 p.m. If you're in the 50-mile race, remember you're going to do 1 lap on the 50K loop, 2 laps on the 10-mile loop. You must start the second lap before 6 p.m. on Saturday. I think that's all I have. Any questions?
I do. Thank you, Luis. I am only doing the 10 miles. And my question at the beginning was, I know that registration begins at 7, but since you just mentioned that, you can start the latest at 6 p.m., do I have to start at 7 a.m. or can I start later on Saturday?
Good question. Registration doesn't close at 7. Runner check-in closes at 7 a.m. Registration is for signups. People can still sign up. That ends at 7 a.m. Runner check-in ends at 7 a.m. on Saturday. We don't have a method for a late start. I'm kind of struggling because I'm trying to think if we can do that. You know what? Email me privately. I'll put my email on the chat again. Luis Escobar. Luis.escobar@spartan.com. Email me privately and we'll see if we can work something out.
Muchas gracias.
De nada. All right. Any other questions? Lay them on me. Come on. Here we are.
Hey, yeah, I have one. How you said the course changes. Is the GPX then up to date? That's the latest and greatest, right?
That's a good question too. That GPX file that you're looking at is from last year. And we believe that it's going to be just like that. However, there will be some variance. And again, it could be not major variance. We're going to use those trails that you see on that GPX file, but we might have to go around a tree. We might have to go around a swollen creek. So the answer is it's going to be pretty close to that.
Okay. And that 50K loop, 10-mile fork, there's gonna be signage, right? Like, I guess we stay right and then 50Kers stay left, whatever direction that is.
Good question. The 50-mile and the 50K both do the 50K loop together. It's the same. So there's not a time when you're out on the course where the 50K goes this way and the 50-mile goes that way. You're all together going to do one big 31-mile loop. If you're in the 50K, you complete that loop, you come back here to the start finish, you check out, you're done. If you're in the 50-mile, now you're going to go off and do this 10-mile loop. Yes, that will be, there will be signs, directional arrows directing you to the 10-mile loop.
Yeah, yeah, because I was talking about the 100-milers. So because it's 10 by 10. So are you saying that how does that work for the 100-milers? Is that trail not gonna be open? Is that what you're saying? Like it'll be straightforward for the hundos?
I'm not understanding, but the 10-mile loop, the 10-mile race will start at 7 a.m. on Friday. They're going to do 10-mile loops on the same course. They're just going to do the same 10 miles 10 times. That same 10-mile loop is going to be used by the 10-mile race on Saturday and also by the 50-mile racers on Saturday. So you're going to do the 50K loop, come back to the farm and hop onto the 10-mile loop and do that twice. Does that answer?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I don't think I was understanding completely.
No, you answered that correctly. So thanks.
All right.
I have a question.
Let me answer this one. Are hiking canes or poles allowed? So we call those trekking poles. Not only are they allowed, I would highly suggest it. So yes, bring your sticks. You're going to want them.
I have a question.
Okay.
For the 100-milers making the 10-mile loop, can we car crew? Is that crew out a car?
Yes, you can park your car here at the base camp and you can crew out of your personal vehicle.
All right. Yeah, that was my only question.
Okay. All right. 50K is marked with pink predominantly on runner left. Correct. The 50K loop is marked with pink surveyor tape predominantly on runner left. Not always, but mostly on runner left. Okay.
If we decided to go from the 50K to the 100 mile, we just show up at 6 a.m. Friday with our waiver.
If you decide to go from the 50K to the 100 mile, how do you do that? You can show up on Friday morning at 6 a.m., ready to run a hard 100, and be prepared to pay the difference, which I don't have in front of me, but there is a price difference. Be prepared to pay that price difference. And yes, we can register you in the 100. However, if you're really going to do that, let's talk about that in advance. Shoot me an email. Let's make sure that we have the logistic correct. What I can do is get the price difference, get a method of payment, and we can make it happen.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Ooh, I hope you decide to do it. That'd be exciting. How many participants at each distance? Let me get that. Hold on just a moment. This is approximate because it changes moment to moment. But earlier, well, 2 days ago, in the 10 mile, there was 124 people. In the 50K, 127 people. In the 50 mile, 31. In the 100, 19. So 301 people total. That was on May 2nd. I'm sure that those numbers are up. All right. What else you guys got? Once we finish the 50K, can we run a loop on the 10 mile for time? Once we finish the 50K, can we run a loop of the 10 miler? Not for time. Understood. So the official answer is no, but it's a public trail and I can't stop you. I'd prefer that you don't, because our insurance, everybody that's on the course should have a bib number on. And so Gary, the official answer is no, don't do that. Okay.
I just have one comment.
Yes.
I was the one asking about the runner's guide, and I was able to find it. I don't know if other folks had this problem, but the email that we received today, the event runner's guide on my email does not show up in blue as a link, but it is a link. It's like a reddish color. So that's why I wasn't seeing it initially when I was reading through the email. Again, I don't know if that's just my email or not, but I wanted to flag it.
Thank you. Here's a good question. First timer here for the 10 mile. Does it get crowded going into the first mile with the narrow trails? We set this up in a way that you have about 200 or so yards of open field before you hit the tight single track. It's about 200 yards of open field, and then tight single track, and then some road, and then tight single track. So yeah, sure, there's potential for it to get congested, but there's also plenty of space at the beginning to thin things out. That has not been a complaint or a concern that I've heard of in the last 5 years, so I don't think it's a problem. But it is tight single track trail. There are some tight switchbacks, so yeah, it could happen, but I haven't heard anybody strongly complain about that. You might have covered this already, but how do we download the 50K map? In the runner guide, there are links to the maps. So just scroll down and you will see a section that says, click to view the maps. And each of the trails are there. And it's interactive. It's really pretty easy to understand. All right. Any other questions? Here's another question. Here we go. I have Caltopo installed on my phone, and when I click the map link, auto downloaded to my Caltopo. Oh, so that's a good thing. So Ryan, you just clicked on it and then it went straight to Caltopo. So it should be saved in your Caltopo. If you can download it and save it in Caltopo, that's good, because you will not have cell service here. So don't rely on cell service to see a map. You need to download it onto your smart device. This is Gary is saying that there is no way to download it for offline use. Yes, there is. You can click on the GPX file and it will download to your computer, and then you can save that file to your smart device.
I guess I was asking how to do that. It sounds like the CalTopo app is the way to do it.
That's
Maybe
yes,
download it for the
yes,
app.
and I can help you with that. Hang on just a second, and we'll talk through that. I want to answer this question. Check the Facebook Northeast Facebook group. Jeff, I'm not sure what you're saying about that. I did look at that Facebook page. I've been monitoring that. I'm not sure what you're asking me
I'm gonna
to
cross
do.
post links to this stuff that you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Understood. Understood.
Try to help people out.
Okay. Yeah. I believe that CalTopo auto downloads so you can use it offline. It just won't always have your GPS position if there's no service. I believe that is correct, Ryan. Okay. So Gary, if you click on the CalTopo map.
I actually got it in the app. So I guess the only question I have is once it's in the app, did somebody just answer that? Can you download it?
Yes. Click on export, top left. See where it says map objects? Right below that, it says export. And then it gives you format options. Click GPX, and then that will download. Are you seeing it?
I see it. I'm in the app. Sorry, we don't have to hog up all the time on the call here. I'm just in the app, and I don't see a way to download it. I'll work on it. Thank you.
Well, let's get it done, man. Which map do you want?
The 50K. I just downloaded the CalTopo app on my iPhone. Now it's in there. I see the map, but I want to download it so I can use it for offline use.
Okay. If you go to export and you go to GPX and you export, it'll download. I'm doing it as I'm talking.
Yeah, I did that. It's not working. So
okay, watch what's going to happen. I'm going to try to put it into the chat. I've never done that. I think you can.
So Ryan, you're saying you're saying it automatically auto downloads, so there's no need to actually download. So that is in fact, I can just test it and go in offline mode on my phone, see if that's true.
Any luck?
1 second.
So it's not letting me put the file into the chat. But I can tell you with solid confidence, if you open this up in a laptop or on your desktop, you can download the GPX file pretty easily. Just go to export.
I'm on an iPhone as well. And I'll just walking through what I'm seeing on my screen is clicking on the little folder icon. That's the second icon from the right, and then the export button. And then it shows the format. You can choose GeoJSON file, and then you can export. And I just saved it to my files on my phone, and it worked for me. So I don't know if I don't know.
I also tried going into airplane mode. Everything's off. It looks like it's still there. I just don't know if it's actually going to track me though. It's supposed to track kind of like Alltrails does. I'm just curious.
Yes, you can record also, or you can just take that file. You don't have to open the file in CalTopo. You can just extract the file from CalTopo, open it up in Gaia, Maps Plus, on your watch, wherever. Just the CalTopo is, for me, just a vehicle to share it with you. You can use CalTopo or you can use any other GPS reading device. Okay, any other questions, suggestions? I'm all yours. That's why I'm here. Okay,
Yep.
I hope
I've
that
got
that,
a comment if you don't mind.
go ahead, let's have it.
My experience last year is that this area and kind of Vermont in general is maybe a little bit more rural than everybody is used to. So like pack snacks, get gas before you leave, that kind of thing. I couldn't find Mexican on the way home, like to eat for dinner at all. It's very upsetting. That's my observation.
That's a great observation, and it is very remote. We're far away from everything out here. And so those are very good suggestions.
Only one working on it because he's messing with the electronics. He kind of knows what he's doing.
Can you guys hear that? Okay. Anything else? Anything I can do for you? Any questions?
Yeah, Lewis.
Yes, sir.
After this race, I'm gonna need a beer. Is there a bar nearby, like within like a couple minutes drive, or just is there gonna be a table full of like solo cups full of beer or something? Or am I just imagining best case scenario there?
The official answer is no, I don't have beer here to serve to you. There is the general store and the gas station in downtown Pittsfield, which is about a mile and a half or so from where I'm sitting here at the base camp. They have craft beers, they have sandwiches, they have a pretty nice menu at the general store and at the gas station. However, their hours are limited. I don't have that in front of me, and I should. I'm sorry, but if you just go to the general store or the gas station in Pittsfield, Vermont, Google it, and you'll get their hours. A bar? No. I've done the research. There is no bar within 10 miles of here.
Thanks for the heads up.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I got one more about I'm flying in on the 7th. Is there any suggestions about car camping? I'll have a van. I'll be renting.
Yes. There's dispersed camping on Upper Michigan Road here in Pittsfield, Vermont. Upper Michigan Road.
I gotcha.
I wouldn't drive too far back on Upper Michigan Road because it's muddy and there's a lot of big potholes and ruts. But you can legally disperse camp. There's no campground, but there are turnouts. Just you just be careful how far back you go.
I got you. Thank you.
All right. And actually somebody is also suggesting Killington. Killington is a large ski recreational area about less than 10 miles from here towards Rutland. And so in Killington, there are plenty of places to park there. I think you can hobo park in the parking lots in the ski resorts there.
All right. Thank you.
You got it. If you look in the chat, Mike just put directions to some places to camp near the venue. So Killington would be fine, but it's kind of a drive. So Mike's directions here are for within a mile or so of the base camp.
Thank you. I just screenshotted that chat.
Perfect. Okay. Any other questions? I'm all yours. Okay. All right.
Any recommendations on keeping those feet dry, or just deal with it and prioritize something else?
I would get the highest quality wicking socks that you can find. I prefer a company called Drymax, drymax.com, drymaxsports.com. You might be able to order them and have them delivered to you now. Drymaxsports.com. I'll put it in the chat. That's just my personal recommendation, but no, there's no way that your feet are going to be dry. Hold on a moment. In the chat is a link to Drymax.
Thank you.
Yep, you got it, buddy. Just get some good socks and just be prepared to be wet pretty much all day.
Understood. I unfortunately was a little late to the Zoom here. How long until this gets posted?
I'm going to try to post immediately, so probably within the next hour.
Okay, to your channel.
We're going to send a link. Yes, it's going to be on my YouTube channel, and then we're going to email a link to everyone this evening.
Thank
you. Lewis, can you clarify our poles recommended? Yeah. Bring your trekking poles. It's absolutely fine. I would highly suggest that you bring trekking poles. Lewis, is the snow gone at elevation? I don't know. I haven't been up. I just got into town this afternoon. I haven't seen the higher elevations. I don't know. Down here where we are in the valley, there is no snow, but it's very wet and muddy. So I'm going to assume that there's snow up high. Is there a shower we can use at the end of the race? No, there is no facility on the property for showers. There's portable toilets and running water, and that's it. Any other questions? Oh yeah, here's some more. If you're below 4,000 feet, which you will likely be, you will unlikely to see snow. Okay.
I run pretty regularly in the whites and the greens. I think it's going to be highly unlikely to see snow, but don't quote me on it. I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but I've been up there pretty recently and there really wasn't any.
Every year we find patches of snow in the shade on the north facing slopes on the very top of the Bloodroot Pass. Just little patches. Only maybe a couple times we actually had to run in snow for a few yards. But no, I have not seen large pieces of snow. Again, I haven't been up there this year. We're going out tomorrow morning. Any other questions? Okay. All right. With that, we'll end it. And I just want to say thank you all for being here. It makes me feel good to see so many of you take the time to be part of this meeting. It means you're taking it seriously. I'm taking it seriously. I want this thing to be safe and successful, and your presence and participation here is one step towards a safe and successful event. If you have any problems, any questions, any concerns, contact me directly. My email is in the runner guide. I put it in the chat. I'm available to you. If there's any problems on the course, if you have a dispute, a problem, if you're angry, come and see me, please. Don't take it out on our volunteers. They're just here donating their time for you, and maybe someone makes a mistake or something goes wrong. Come and talk with me and we'll resolve it. It should be pretty easy. That's it. Thank you very much. I think we are in for an exciting weekend, and I'm here. I'm available to you. Contact me at any time. All right.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Everybody. Thank you. We'll see you soon. I'm going to turn this off. This has been a runner meeting for the 2025 Bloodroot Ultras here in Pittsfield, Vermont. I'm Luis Escobar, and I'll see you all in a few days. Good night.